Hi breast friends, my name is Shanne and welcome back to my channel. I always wanted to say that. Today we are up close and personal. Maybe a little too close, maybe a little too personal, but it's okay. Cause today we're doing a little chit chat, we're doing a little kiki, a little get ready with me. I don't know where I was going with that accent, sorry. In my last video, we spoke about the plight of chemotherapy treatment and the adverse effects it has on the body. So if you haven't seen that yet, I will link it right here, or you can check it out in the description box below. Today we're going to talk about my philosophy, my reasoning behind why I think it's so important to talk about cancer. I feel like I'll be sharing something very personal, and I just want to feel comfortable while I'm doing it. And I love doing my makeup, it's very therapeutic for me. So without further ado, let's get into this gig. When I was first diagnosed with breast cancer, I was kind of taken aback, but also not very surprised because of what I was going through with the tumors and everything. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have an entire video dedicated to the tumor that I had and how I got diagnosed with cancer. The fact that I was kind of not surprised by it, I think that helped me, what's the word, kind of maintain my composure a bit. So it was kind of easy for me to relay the message to my family and my close friends. One of the first things I did was research. Yeah, it's what I do. It's what I said this in my last video. I like to know things. I think it's important to be well informed before you disseminate any type of information to people, especially if it's related to a disease. Like, yeah, I need people to have the right information. I don't want them to be ill-informed or misinformed in any way. Now, the reason I had to do the research, and it's not that my family and friends weren't privy to my situation, with the recurring tumors and all that, but I had to somewhat make the connection between me just having tumors and being okay after that, and me now having cancer. Like, that is a big jump. I sent out a message, an explicit message, so that it can reflect the extensive research that I did. And I created like broadcast lists. I added people to it, people I felt needed to know the information. Of course, it's not like I'm not telling the whole world yet, I've just been diagnosed. So my updates were very professionally done, because she's a professional, darling. She loves good grammar. She lives it, I'm that friend. I might just correct your grammar in a group chat. Yeah, I'm that friend. But you know what? I'm also that friend who will proofread your essays and type an email for you. Anything else academic, like I'm really into that. So I sent out my updates, and I would send, my family and friends updates periodically, because it's a lot going on after a diagnosis. You have to have different scans done, you have to start your treatments, see an oncologist. I wasn't even in my home country, I was on another island. Without having been prompted, I did provide them with all of those updates, so that was good. That was good of me. That was very kind of me. I'm such a thoughtful person. Why am I gassing up myself so much on this? But even with like all the information I shared, I didn't really want to alarm them or anything, so that's why I needed my messages to have a specific tone, so that they could see, well, hey, Shanne is very calm about this. She's not freaking out, so why should we freak out? And you know, this is very funny. So my older sister, she took it upon herself to message like most of my close friends to let them know that, hey, this Shanne has stage 4 cancer. I know to you might be thinking, but that's not her place. But you know what? I was so happy that she did that. On the one hand, I want to be open with my friends and family, but on the other hand, like, I didn't want them to feel bad for me and feel sad. And even to this day, I have no idea how they really felt about everything. So me being me, I sent out a message earlier this week and I said, okay, guys, send me like a 30-second voice note, 30 to 50 seconds max, and let me know how you really felt when you found out I had cancer. Let's just hear what they have to say, because I've literally never heard, you know, honest feelings about the whole situation. So let's just hear what they had to say for a bit.
When you told us it was cancer, it was pretty devastating for me, especially because my aunt had just recently returned from her mastectomy surgery. But in that moment in time of you telling us, the only thing I could do was save face. You're usually the strong one within our group. So it was important for us to be there for you mentally and emotionally, because we couldn't be there for you physically. But the minute I got off of that phone call with you, I broke down. Like, I couldn't control my emotions. The only thing I could do in that moment in time was cry and pray.
Wow, I did not know that. I mean, I know Kyara is kind of on the emotional side, which I'm not. I'm the complete opposite. Like she said, I'm the strong friend. But it's not that I'm apathetic. Maybe sometimes I can be like a little nonchalant. But I mean, I have my moments. Like, I will literally, if a dog dies in a movie, I will cry. I will cry until the end until the end of the movie, because why did you kill off the dog? Okay, let's listen to what another friend had to say. The reason I'm playing these is because my whole point is you need to tell people that you have cancer. There's so much that comes into play when it comes to cancer, like finances and emotional support. Some people even do counseling, bro. Like, some people, oh, I just messed up my brow. Some people do counseling, and I mean, can you blame them? This is a traumatic experience. It is not for the faint-hearted.
Initially, I was extremely sad. I cried a lot. But then after, I got really angry. Like, I was upset. I was mad. I guess at the universe, at God. Because I'm like, out of all the people this could happen to, why did it have to be my best friend?
This is hurting me, guys. Why am I putting myself through this? Hearing my friends actually admit how they felt when I told them I had cancer. But I think it's important because I don't want to invalidate their feelings. But again, I'm doing this to prove my point. Okay, let's hear from my mom. I'm so scared.
Sweetheart, all you were going through was already difficult, but the one relief was that the tests were coming back negative. And then when the last one came back positive, and I couldn't be with you for the operation, all this just has mommy very devastated. And just knowing now all the other things you have to go through, all these tests, all these scans and everything else, all mommy can do is pray and feel confident that you're going to beat this.
It's the prayers for me. It's the prayers for me.
I don't think I really reacted in the moment that she told us she had cancer. I was obviously sad, distraught. Any strong negative emotion you can think of, that was me in the moment.
It's a lot to go through. It's a lot to handle emotionally, physically, spiritually. You have to be strong. If you're not a strong person, child, it's a L.
The first time you told me you had cancer, I remember we were on a video call and you dropped the bomb. And I remember for the first 20 seconds, I just couldn't say anything. I was in shock. I was devastated. I felt like my heart dropped. But then after a while, after a couple of seconds, I was like, if I freak out, you will freak out. I just tried to stay calm and ask as many questions as I could. And then from that conversation, it was just like, don't be devastated. We'll fight this together.
That's what it is. Having people to fight the good fight with you.
When you told me you had cancer, there was a wave of emotions that came over me. I literally cried when you said stage 4 cancer. I just sat on my bed crying for the longest while. I couldn't believe that my childhood best friend had been diagnosed. For me, I felt so helpless because I couldn't physically be there for you. I just wanted to hold your hand, hug you, cuddle you, cry with you, because that's what best friends do.
I feel bad. But I feel justified in saying that this counts as research for this video. You know? It's research.
At first, I was truly drawing a mental blank, not even really able to think. And then peace came. And then the thoughts flew. What testimony could the Lord be calling you to in your young life? What could He be calling us to as family? And how would we be able to cope? And then I prayed for the ability for us to be able to cope with whatever He was calling us to.
One of my sisters, wow, she's almost like me in that she may not necessarily show me her emotions, but I know you're emotional. I do.
When you told me, funny enough, I feel like maybe for the first split second I was maybe in like disbelief, but you have always been, for the most part, so positive about this whole experience. And I felt that because of our friendship, we've never really hidden anything from each other. We're very open with each other. And so I didn't get a sense of worry. I didn't get the sense that I needed to feel worried because you never made it or made me feel that I needed to worry. Honestly, I'm happy about that because I do believe that we need to remain positive in times like this.
So now I want to get into my philosophy behind why I think we should not keep cancer a secret. First of all, people want to help you. I've had people offer to host fundraisers for me twice. In the first instance, it was a couple of my friends. And the second instance, it was literally, well, I was going to say a random person, but it's not a random person. Random in the sense that I don't know them personally. This person approached my mother and said, hey, I want to do a fundraiser for Shanne. People were so willing to just donate. So tell people that you have cancer, love. Reason number 2 is I believe that people need to see representation of what cancer can do and who can get cancer. The reason I say this is because when you look at the statistics and everything, a lot of the statistics are old. Like, I remember reading one that said mammogram at 40 and every year after that. 40, child. How how does that apply to me? How does that help me, a young person being diagnosed at 25, if you keep telling people only get a mammogram when you're 40 years old? And I had someone comment on one of my posts on Instagram. She said she went to get checked and they told her that she's too young. We need to stop that narrative. This, you're too young to have breast cancer, you're too young to do whatever. Times have changed. People's lifestyles are different. So how could you apply those same principles that existed all those years ago? Every time I go to, get testing done or something, and I explain to the technician or the doctor or whoever I'm seeing at the time, I had breast cancer, they're like, but you're so young. Okay, and now I also think that representation is important, because people get this sense that cancer isn't necessarily so far removed from them, meaning it doesn't have to be your cousin's, auntie's, stepson's, neighbor who has cancer. It could literally be me, your best friend from secondary school. It could be your cousin, it could be your sister. And in doing so, you remove the stigma attached to cancer. You get rid of all of the misconceptions attached to it. Oh, you're at stage 4, so you're gonna die tomorrow. No. When you let people know that, hey, such and such can happen, but that is not always the case, and just because they show you that on TV doesn't mean that, that's it. The third reason I think that cancer should not be a secret is because people are stronger than you think. Did you hear my friends and family? Did you hear them? They literally said they cried when they got off the phone with me or when they read my message. So people aren't going to immediately be like breaking down in front of you. In the same way that I was able to, kind of mask my emotions a bit, your friends and family can do the same thing. Because trust me, they don't want you to be like, oh, I shouldn't have told her, I knew this would happen, or why did I tell her, she's not taking this well. They don't want you to have the added pressure of having to worry about yourself and having to worry about them. Another reason is people will pray for you. If you're not a spiritual person, people will send you positivity all around. You will have positivity coming from every single direction. Every single direction. People you know, people you don't know. Let people, have the opportunity to wish you well. Because that in itself might help you. And that additional support I think it's necessary. Absolutely necessary. People will also advocate for you. One of the things about a cancer diagnosis is that you don't necessarily have all the resources to get everything you need to get done, but people will reach out and walk you through different processes. I think that's really important because, my family knew and my friends knew. I literally was able to get 2 doctors in my corner advocating for me, making sure things were done on time, or that I knew where to go to get things done. Shout out to Jonelle and Charisse, Dr. Branch. Let's wish Dr. Branch, Messiah, all the best, not luck. She's intelligent, she puts in the work. Let's wish her the best for her examinations. But at the end of the day, you can only do so much. You can only say so much to people. And in the same light, I do respect people who may have made the decision to, not tell their people for various reasons. I recently spoke to someone who told me that she told no one, and she's fine, So not everybody needs somebody, and people do like consistently try to get me to, I don't know, join groups or participate in certain discussions. It is up to the individual how much they want to share with people, and you have to respect that. You have to respect people's decision when it comes to that. Ultimately, I just firmly believe that there's strength in vulnerability, and it's okay to let people in, let people see you at your lowest point, because then they're also going to see you rise from it and grow from it, learn from it, and become the best version of yourself. Now that you're well equipped with how you can break the news to your family, in my next video, I'm going to talk about how to support family members who may have recently been diagnosed or who are going through this right now, because they need our support. Despite how you might feel or how they may make you feel in the moment, they need your help. But until then, check your breasts and check your pecs. And that goes for everyone, okay?